Hello.
Want me to hold it?
Hi. It's okay. I can hold it.
Hello, welcome
I'm okay
to
for now.
the replay.
If you are watching after the stream has ended,
Yes.
I kind of don't know what we're going to talk about today because it's just a ask anything.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Satori.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Satori.
Blackpink.
Hi.
XD.
Hi.
Hi, Crystal. Hi, Kimte. Hi, Dalila.
Hi, Jungkook.
Hi, Jordan. Hi,
Hi,
Islamic
Islamic
girl.
girl.
Hello. Ooh, Chicago.
Hi, Sabrina.
Oh, man. I miss Chicago. That was really nice.
Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello.
I have to go to sleep, but just here to say hi. Oh, you should sleep early,
Have a
Monica.
good night, Monica.
Yeah, we're just gonna stream probably for like 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. How are your rashes? They did disappear. We have a feeling they came about because I was drinking chlorophyll water that was expired. I was supposed to refrigerate it, but I didn't refrigerate it for a few months. And so it could have like been causing like reactions. So because I was almost done it, Michael was like, let's just throw it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it like having kids? I don't know. What's it like having a pet? You just have to take care of something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slowly.
It's like similar to having a pet, but it's like a pet human. But at the same time, like you have to like a pet human that you have to think about their future as well, not just like for your own enjoyment pet.
Yeah. I don't think no one's ever ready to have kids. We just transform into bearing and changing our lifestyle towards it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's great. Here, I'll bring it closer. Is that okay?
Yeah, is it because you can't see? His eyesight is not as good as mine, so. Nami trying to compare kids to pets. It's true though, you have to take care of them, right? Have you heard of Blackpink's new song? I've heard of it. I haven't heard it yet, but I've heard
Feel
of
This
it. I've
Love?
seen some pictures. He knows it more than me.
I think it got like 15 million
Oh my
views.
gosh. In 24
15
hours?
million views in like 6 or 7 hours.
How old are you? You can see our birth years in the description. We put it under every video because this is a question that we do get a lot. I'm turning 24 this month. Yeah, and then Michael just turned 29.
Yes, I did cut my
if
hair.
people are wondering, like if ever you see people who wonder, you could let them know that like our birth years are in the description.
What's a blink? Am
A
I a
blink,
blink?
a blink is the Blackpink fan base.
Oh. No, I don't think. I no. It's just
Are you
no
an army?
time. I'm an army, but
He's an army because he's like secondhand army for me.
yes, but it's a time commitment too. It's
Yeah,
hard
to be a fan,
yes,
dedicated fan, and
with
proclaim
so
yourself
many
as a dedicated
yes.
fan. Have you picked out any girl names? So I'm going to be talking about this in our next pregnancy update video. But we will probably be revealing the baby's name after she's born. However, I think we can do like a discussion about different names that we liked. Like different girl names that we liked. Because we did think of like several.
Do you guys think it's bad if you don't get along with your boyfriend or girlfriend's friend group? Love you guys. Think
Love you
it's
too,
bad?
Juliana. I don't think so.
No.
I think everyone has different friends. To be honest, Michael, when he meets my friends, they just don't really talk because they're all introverted and they're all like, I'm the one who talks. And then when I meet Michael's friends, I get angry and they get angry because like we over talk. And then like we clash because our personalities are all
Right.
like kind of very like I get along with Michael. That's why I get along with
Yes.
people who are like Michael. And then Michael gets along with me, so he gets along with people who are like me. But then when you're with people who are like you, it's not as like in terms of personality.
Yeah.
It's not as peaceful.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
like the chemistry is like it's not like matching opposites. It's like clashing
Yes.
similarities. So
Yes.
I think it's fine if you don't get along. I think like it's good to know them and it's good to know why your boyfriend or girlfriend or your partner gets along with them too and understand why they like them and stuff and why they get along. But I don't think that you have to get along with them too and be friends with them.
Yes. It's not necessary, but something to talk about between you and your boyfriend or girlfriend. Nami's back pain. Your back pain is increasing in pain.
Yeah, and your sister, actually, Ted was telling me, my brother-in-law came to get baby clothes for their expectant boy, which is like, he's gonna be born like 2 weeks before our baby. Yeah, but my brother-in-law was telling me that Michael's older sister, she's like experiencing really bad back pain too. Like every day it's really bad. It's like worse than mine, I think. Because it's her
Yes.
first pregnancy too. It's like
Yes.
really bad.
Yes. I haven't seen the Mattel or Mattel?
Oh, the
Mattel
dolls.
dolls. Haven't seen it, but I know that RM has his
Dimple.
yeah.
He's like,
I'm excited for the new album
so
because
funny.
I'm reading that it's based off
Persona.
Carl Jung's
Who on earth
persona
am I?
psychology. So let's see how
Good
they.
night, unicorns are real. Have a good sleep.
Good night.
It's cool that your kids have cousins so close in age. I know.
Yes, that's
I'm
so
so
nice.
thankful for that because like I didn't grow up with any family, like no siblings, no cousins, no aunts and uncles, no grandparents. Literally just me and my mom.
Yes.
And like I think it'll be
Yes.
such a blessing for them.
Nina says, I can't stay to watch the whole live video, but I wanted to say, I wanted to thank
Aw,
Nami
thank
for her
you,
hair
Nina.
videos. I dyed my daughter's hair
Oh
purple for the
wow!
upcoming BTS concert, and it looks
It
amazing.
looks amazing. Wow!
Cool.
I want to see. Oh, it must be so pretty.
Yeah.
Good job, Nina.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Hi, Joanne.
My braces. I'll be getting them off in the summer. So for me, it was
When?
only 1 year.
Which
Do I
summer?
have any
Which month?
advice? I also got
For
my.
braces? Advice for
Oh,
braces?
you got it this week. Okay, that's good. I
Oh,
always.
it must be hurting though.
I always recommend go to an orthodontist, a professional, and
Like getting braces with dentists is different than getting braces with orthodontics who specialize in
Yes,
braces.
yes.
Even though you pay a little bit more, I think it's worth it to get braces at the
yes,
at the orthodontics.
definitely you can just call them up and ask any of the questions that you have.
Baby's due date is July 15th.
I think that one huge thing is there are specific toothpicks
thank
to
you,
floss your
Katie.
teeth when you have
Yeah.
braces.
You should always floss your
And-
teeth with the orthodontic braces.
Yes, the orthodontic
Hi,
floss,
Toga.
and that saves you a lot of
Are
time.
you
It's
feeling
great.
better? I
Best thing.
am. Thank you, Trin. Have you gotten any baby clothes yet? We
Did
got like hand-me-downs. We got hand-me-downs. So, someone from our church, they've been really generous in giving us their baby clothes, but they had boys, so they're giving us their gender-neutral clothes. And then there's like a lot of girls at our church
Bye,
who.
Faith.
Bye, Faith. Oh, thank you, Juliana. Juliana donated $5. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you, Juliana.
Thank you for answering. I have so many questions, but I don't have any close people in my life to ask. I love and trust you guys' answers, your guys' answers. So thank you. Thank you for even trusting us to like ask us, especially when they're questions that you worry about. The fact that you like trust us and want to ask, then like it just really encourages us. Thank you so much, Juliana.
Yeah, we hope that we can continue to be real and vulnerable in a safe way.
Michael's talking with his hands. You can't see.
Sorry. I know I always gesticulate there.
Gesticulate.
Yes, but thank you, Juliana. Nay, Naily.
Naily?
Are you guys Christian? If so, how do you deal with temptations? I have no Christian friends, and it's really hard. Yes, temptations are tempting.
Oh, Hannah, thank you. Hannah donated $1.
I always say temptations. It usually happens within moments when you have like a immediate. It's like a triangle. If you're
He
within
calls
this,
it the Bermuda Triangle.
yes, I call it the Bermuda Triangle or the double Bermuda Triangle. So, if you
This is a theory he came up with on his own.
if you
Gabby,
are out of fellowship
is for your baby's
for more than
clothes.
1 week, if you are stressed,
Everyone say thank you to Gabby, Juliana, and Hannah. Thank you,
Thank you,
Gabby.
Gabby.
Thank you, Juliana. Thank you, Hannah.
oh my goodness, for baby clothes.
She gave us a full set of baby outfit just there, $25.
I want to quickly, okay, give me
Yeah,
2
okay.
minutes. No,
Michael's
1 minute,
gonna-
1 minute. Okay.
Michael's gonna talk about his theory on temptations.
So this
and
is the
sin.
double Bermuda Triangle theory in 1 minute. So if you're stressed, if you're out of fellowship or accountability for 1 week, and if you're out of personal growth or spiritual discipline
Conspiracy theory.
for more than 3 days. So if you're within that triangle, if all three are true, then you're in a danger zone. And within that danger zone, if you're alone, if you're anonymous, if you have accessibility, and if there's an immediate gratification, a channel to immediately
Shane
gratify
Dawson replacement.
a temptation, then boom, you're in the second triangle, and that's where you can
And
fall
when you're in the double
into
triangle, it's
temptation.
so easy to fall into the temptation.
Right.
And just like the sin doesn't even phase you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So
um,
definitely, okay, here's my 10-second answer now. When you're turning away from
Brilliant.
temptation, don't turn from temptation to something. Don't just turn away from it. You always turn
yeah,
away.
if you turn away from it, it's still behind you. It's
Yes.
still really close to you.
You have to turn to something. Don't just turn away, but turn to something. Turn to the cross of Christ. Okay, next.
So fast.
I just wanted to thank you for liking my comments on Instagram.
Aww.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for
everyone.
commenting on Instagram. Temptation is great.
Shane
It
Dawson is quacking.
quaking. Quick.
Oh, sorry, quaking.
Quack quack.
Quacking. No, it's quacking. What denomination are you? I think we're
We consider ourselves charismatic Baptists.
right.
So we're reformed, but we also like highly consider like spiritual realm of
the important role of
our
the
faith.
Spirit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Hope you crushed your cravings, Nami.
yeah, it was good. I was satisfied.
How is your mood lately, aside from the pain?
When I'm tired and exhausted, I get really irritable. Like today, I was like screaming at Ziek because I was so like my whole body was aching,
Yeah.
and from my elbows to the fingertips, it literally my muscles were like aching, and then also from my upper thighs down to my toes. So I had to take a nap, and I think I have to pace myself, like make sure that I don't exhaust my body because yesterday I did a lot of walking.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, I came home at like midnight because I was seeing my friend. And before that, I was like, what were we doing before? I was like cleaning the house. It was just like a lot. And I was standing for like an hour cooking and
Yes.
cleaning
Yes.
and doing stuff. So it was like,
If you're
I just have to,
irritated,
if you're experiencing pain, you get more irritable.
Yes,
So I have
yes,
to
yes.
make sure I don't, like that I take care of myself. Yeah. So then it doesn't affect my mood.
right?
But I think other than that, like my mood has been okay. I find that I have more mood swings when I'm experiencing pain or exhaustion.
Right.
Quack. Joanne is asking if we're going to baptize our baby. So we're kind of doing this the same as Galahad and Ziek as well. We kind of are going to allow them to choose when they want to, if they want to become baptized in the future. However, we do like baby dedication when they turn 1, which is just like a public announcement that we will try our best with our faith community to raise them in a godly way, in prayer and hopes that they will also rely on God as well,
Right.
the way that we do.
Right.
I really want mentaiko onigiri. Man, my umeboshi onigiri was so good. Marble. Oops. I dropped it.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, it's so loud.
Here, take a look here.
I have soccer tryouts. Oh, good luck. Oh my gosh. I am not a sports person, like at all. I can't do any sports. So, I don't know if I have advice. I guess like practice and don't be like, if you practice a lot, then I feel like you'll be less nervous. And then when you feel nerves coming on, it makes you make more mistakes. I'm thinking more of like a performance side,
Right.
because this applies to me and like singing and dance and stuff. Yeah, when you're feeling the nerves come on, just take like deep breaths and it helps a lot.
Right.
But practice obviously is the fundamental thing that will help you.
Which trimester was the most difficult for you in your pregnancies? And is there one that you enjoyed the most?
So for Galahad's, I just enjoyed the whole pregnancy because I wasn't sick at all. And I didn't have any responsibilities. I was just chilling at home while you worked, and then you would just come home and then would just chill. And then it was just like very chill.
Right.
I was finishing up my courses in the first few trimesters. And then after that, I was just like chill because it was the summertime. Um, yeah, and then for Galahad, for Zeke's, I think my second trimester was really nice because I wasn't heavy, but then at the same time, I wasn't sick as much. This pregnancy, though, I feel like there's no break. Like, right when my morning sickness ended, I started feeling really exhausted. But normally, exhaustion only comes at the third trimester. I feel like everything's overlapping in the second trimester, so I feel like there's not really a break in this one.
Right.
I'm in the late second trimester now, so because I'm 6 months, in a few weeks I'll be in the third trimester. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Watching you satisfy your cravings was satisfying in itself. That's true. It's like when you watch mukbangs, when you watch people
Yeah.
eat, it's like you kind of feel satisfied.
What experience, what experiences helped you to believe? Have you had any situation that made you realize that God exists? I'm struggling with having faith without doubt.
I
Lydia
think doubt is
asks.
healthy.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think doubt makes you seek more, and it makes you. For me, I never struggled with doubt because I have had like paranormal experiences, different than Michael's paranormal experiences. But Michael has experienced a lot of doubt because he thinks a lot. For me, I'm just like, hey, and then Michael's like always thinking. So
I always
yeah, I
find
think it's
that.
good to question.
So I always
So
find
you
that when
find.
you doubt your faith, you become stronger in your faith. But when we do doubt and when we're skeptical, and that's very healthy because we're questioning, we do so in a way that has
I'm
an
excited for the
intention
comeback.
of truth seeking understanding. Because many times you'll have those who, because the attitude in the heart really justifies what your mind will believe.
Right.
So, what is the attitude in your heart in
They
which you're
fight.
approaching the
Galahad and
doubts that
Ziek
you
fight.
have? Yes.
Yeah, and then I think like in terms of the paranormal experiences, Michael had a lot of sleep paralysis, but every time he would get sleep paralysis, he would always see demonic figures, and so for that, like, I think that did increase his faith a lot because it wasn't just like monsters; they're like actually in the form of demonic figures, and people say that you're just hallucinating and things like that, but I truly believe that it was spiritual.
Right.
Yeah. And then for me, I've experienced the other side. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard God's voice, but like, have you?
No.
No, but I've heard what I believe to be God's voice coming from behind me twice, I think. Yeah, so that was like, and I was actually at the last row of the conference that I was in. So there was no one behind me. When I looked behind me, there were only chairs. It was like this kind of quiet but like loud voice, like quiet but then like so clear. Like it feels like it's coming from behind you, but it's like filling your whole body. It's really weird, yeah. So then when I first came to believe in our faith, which is Christianity, and when I accepted Jesus as my personal savior. It's so weird. So yeah. So then that was when like I heard that voice and it was telling me like I've been waiting for you. Because like I had a history before that of like a lot of doubt in faith just as a child. Because of like the corruption in my previous church and stuff. So yeah.
Yes.
So like those kind of experiences, and then other small things that seem like coincidences, but then when you look at it, you're like, wow, this is amazing. How did this happen? You know, those kind of experiences. I think
Yes.
they strengthen our faith, where we're like, oh my gosh, it can only be God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Trin.
Thank you. Thank you for your
She's
questions.
scared.
We're sorry. We're really behind on some of our questions here.
I'm
Let's see.
sorry.
Do you
We talk a
believe
lot.
that opposites attract in a relationship? Well, psychologically, it's been proven that opposites actually detract.
I think it depends on what kind of opposite you're talking about, because opposites in personality, I believe, sometimes attract because you make up for each other's flaws and weaknesses and strengths. But then opposites in values and opposites in fundamental beliefs, I believe they detract. Detract.
Right.
Yeah. So if you have somebody who has a similar personality as you, I feel like you won't really fit as well because you'll be fighting over, I don't know. I feel like you'll be fighting like the same way and then you just kind of clash.
Right.
Or like you never talk and you never resolve things.
Right.
But then at the same time, um, if you have somebody who's opposite in you in terms of your fundamental beliefs and your value system, then like you wouldn't it wouldn't fit well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. In relationships, values, have shared values, and have a friendship. Establish it on friendship first. I think that's key.
My sister has sleep paralysis. How can we help her? She's 16 years old. Michael started getting sleep paralysis when he was 14, 15.
Yes, I think one physical thing you can do is
I
sleeping on
heard
your
sleep.
side.
Yeah, I heard sleeping on your side helps prevent it. Like, one person I saw on YouTube, they commented under a sleep paralysis video, and they said they always sleep on their side. Every time they don't sleep on their side, they get sleep
Yes.
paralysis.
Yes.
Where's Galahad? Galahad and Ziek are both
Hello?
sleeping. Hi, Arthur. This is very insightful. It's like a free therapy.
Galahad is
Oh,
sleeping.
thank you, Rick.
Galahad is sleeping.
How do you accept the ending of our friendship? Oh, that's so hard, man. I think it's like with any relationship, just coming to understand that like it won't work and both of you are not willing to invest that effort in making it work. I think that's really hard, especially letting go of that relationship. I think something that helps to cope is remembering the good times as good times, even though that's like kind of cheesy. But like, I used to play MapleStory in like last summer, and I was like really deep into MapleStory. I was guild leader. Like I made a guild, and then we made like such good friends under that guild. And I don't really talk with them as much anymore because I'm so busy, and I just kind of had to let go of my desire to build friendships with these people who are so special to me, but then at the same time like realize that I have other responsibilities that are more pressing. I think something that helps is what Michael told me one time was how he said we do have great friendships and we have we have wonderful friendships, but then at the same time we have wonderful moments as well, and like cherishable moments, and we have cherishable friendships. Sometimes the people you meet, they can't become lifelong cherishable friendships.
Right.
However, the time that you did spend with them become cherishable moments, and it's not bad that you don't have that friendship anymore, but you can still look back on those cherishable moments.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
cherish that.
friends are a blessing. They come and go.
And it's not something that we can buy or build or will. Like we
Yes.
can't
Yes.
have it just because we want it.
Last year, in my graduating class, we had our 10-year anniversary from high school.
Do you eat raw
But
oxygen?
almost everybody, they don't really sustain and maintain high school friendships.
Yeah, high school 10-year
10 years after.
10-year reunion. You
Yes,
guys had a
10-year
10-year reunion.
But many of the long-lasting close friends that you make in high school, you have to work on the friendship. Otherwise, you're slowly going to be
With
going.
any relationship. Yeah, it's not
different
just
routes.
about
Yes.
it's not just about what you like in your friendship. It's about
Yes.
you two coming together to like work on this relationship that's a
Yes.
separate entity from you and them.
So many good questions. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Ah.
Haywood asks, what do you think about the current situation happening with the changes that Doug Ford is placing?
In Toronto.
Such as the changes in Ontario, such as the
Oh, in
changes to high
Ontario?
school and more. So
I don't know
some of the
anything about
changes
this, by the
today,
way.
today earlier, there's a walkout. I think it started at like 12.
What's a walkout?
All the high school students, they they
What's that?
staged a protest walking out of their classes
Oh,
because of the
cool.
increased class sizes, the budget cuts.
Oh, right.
Yes, and it's going to
In
affect
our
many,
city.
many more specialized programs for high schoolers.
Uh,
It's a tricky situation. I feel like um, Ontario Ontario is like $340 billion in debt, and there's only really one way to move towards paying off debt, and that's a lot of budget cuts. And it affects us too, actually, because I'm a student on OSAP, Ontario Student Loans. I'm a student loan. I'm on student loans as well.
you're a student loan.
I'm a
Your whole
student.
being is a student
Yeah.
loan.
So I realized that it's different values in which political leaders put in terms of what is important and what are we going to cut in. I don't really necessarily have a strong opinion in this area where because
Me
I
neither,
know
because I don't know
the
anything.
pendulum always swings,
It
right?
always changes,
Every
yeah.
5-10 years it goes back and forth and back
Because
and
the
forth.
government changes too,
Right.
yeah.
And it's always liberals or conservatives, Republicans or Democrats. It always goes back and forth. Yeah, so I don't really have too much of a strong opinion. More so, it's something important to realize and be cognizant of. It's not something that I feel personally where I need to be.
I think we
too
would be more
politically
worried
involved.
if we had friends who are in high school, or if we had kids who are in high school. I think we'd be more concerned about
I guess so. It
about
does
all of the
affect
changes.
some students quite heavily, especially if you're in a prestigious art program and all of
Yeah.
a sudden you don't have funds
Right.
funds for the courses that you want to take. And so yeah, yeah. So, hold on, hold on.
Hold on, I wanna read Jordana's.
Okay.
I like a guy who's in a relationship. Would you say it's wrong to still like him if I'm secretly hoping they'll break up? Or would it be better to try to let go of these feelings and move on?
Right.
I think it goes both ways.
Right.
I think if you're being selfish and if you're being obviously I think if you're secretly hoping that they break up, it's different than you intentionally going out and trying to break them up. I think that's wrong. However, I think liking someone in itself is something that is also kind of a blessing. Like it's hard to come to like somebody, and I think if anything, like I would say, if he's already in a relationship, to respect space, but at the same time, I don't think it's wrong to get to know him as a person, and for him to get to know you as a person, maybe not as a potential love interest at the point where he's already seeing somebody, but just opening more space for you to know his bad sides too, because sometimes when we like people, we often have an image of them that's not completely accurate to who they are.
Right,
So
right.
getting to know him better can often help, like, instead of trying to kill this image that you have of him that you like and get rid of your feelings. I think that's even harder to do. So taking it naturally maybe, and not being intentionally evil, but then at the same time, like, being respectful, but trying to get to know him as a person, and then also trying to get to know the person he's with as a person too.
Yes.
Helps, because, like, sometimes if you come to love them more than the actual guy, then, like, you'll be happy that they're together.
That's correct.
And if they're not doing well, then, like, giving them space too, and then things will happen and time will pass for those situations too, I think. TED Talk Thursdays with Nacho Fam. Did Michael lose any weight? I think he lost a little bit of weight.
Yes.
He's been doing Insanity. It's similar to P90X. It's like a video
This is the one. So,
Nikki
asks
for Michael.
How do you control your temper when you're upset with wifey? Yeah, that's tough.
That should be a question for
because,
me, because my temper is really wild.
Well, everybody's temper, right? Like, a lot of the times.
I think everyone has the same amount of temper, but then it's expressed differently.
It's important to find a way to externalize anger. a lot of times if you only internalize frustration,
Which is what Michael does.
it can lead to depression.
Mm.
And so exercise is huge. The CEO of Good Life Fitness, forgot his name, and
Good
he
Life Fitness is like a,
a
a
major
health
major
major gym.
gym chain. Yes.
Yeah.
He also wrote a book, forgot the name of the book, I'm sorry. But writes out hundreds of benefits of exercise and
Mm.
many mental health benefits and temper control. Because anger and stress, it affects your body,
Podcast.
right? It stimulates
Yeah.
your nervous systems as well, and it can
For me, it's
compromise your
opposite. If
entire
I
body.
if I externalize it too much,
Mm-hmm.
then it actually makes me more angry. Like if I'm angry and then I shout, then it'll actually make me more angry. So
Yes.
sometimes for me, holding my tongue for at least 5 seconds helps the
Yes.
anger pass.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but then for you, if you keep it in,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't internalize at all, I just wait for it to pass.
Yes.
For you, you internalize it. So for Michael, it kind of helps him too.
Sometimes it does help to just walk out for 15 minutes and talk later.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge,
Yeah.
I guess, strategy for young parents with new parents
Yeah,
who can't
with little
handle
kids who are
babies,
crying
let's
all
say
the
who have
time.
colic, who are crying all the time, crying all through the night, crying every hour, and you have a full
Yeah.
day at work tomorrow, and you come home, you have to make food, and then you have a crying baby all through the night. And imagine a pattern like that, even after 1 or 2 weeks, you can
You would get
go
so stressed. Yeah.
extremely frustrated and blow out in anger. And
Yeah, sometimes it's good to walk out. Sometimes it's
yes,
good to
you need
express it
that
too.
time
Like
to walk
for
away.
Michael
Come.
and I,
Hmm.
it helps. He's learning how to talk about his feelings more,
Yes.
especially in his anger. And sometimes that helps too. So I think it's a good balance. Like you have to have a good balance between the two. Oh, these are such good questions, and we're 31 minutes into the live.
Gladiator of Bacon asked, somebody give me
Gladiator of bacon.
life tips because I'm going through puberty and a lot of people start getting depression and anxiety. What if it's going to happen to me? I need ways to prevent this. I think some major things. Yes, there are many physiological changes you go through when
Mm-hmm.
you're going through puberty. I think it's important that you uh, you surround yourself with at least one person who you look up to,
Mm-hmm.
like a mentor who you can
Mm-hmm.
share with,
Mm-hmm.
because that mentorship relationship is very important, and
And yeah.
that's how it should be actually
Mm-hmm.
within our model. So if you're already in a community, an after school program, if you know someone who's a few years older than you, or even like 10
Mm-hmm.
years older than you, you can ask, hey,
And you look up to them. They can't just be
yes,
like anyone.
someone you can trust as well, someone
Yeah.
who, I think if you're that young, make sure your parents know this person as well,
Yeah.
and just say, oh, would you be willing to be my mentor? So that's very important, that you're not supposed to, if you feel like you're going through any depressive feeling or anxiety, also tell your parents,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even speak to your family, like a family doctor, general practitioner, and you have to,
But I
yeah,
think you
yeah,
should be careful too because I think at that age you are going through hormonal
right,
changes.
right,
You don't want to disrupt any rhythmic flow if with like drugs or with antidepressants
right.
if it's not something that is going to pass anyway.
Yes, the Canada Health, I don't know, doctors say, well, if you're under 18, you should be getting 1 hour of exercise every day. If
Mm-hmm.
you're above 18, you should be getting 3 hours of exercise every week. And it
Mm.
can't just be like, not like, it has to be moderate to heavy.
Yeah.
It has to get your heart
Yeah.
pumping. So that helps a lot to
That helps so
exercise.
much because it actually physiologically releases antidepressive hormones that help you fight depression.
Yes.
So
Yes.
exercising or doing sport helps a lot.
Yes.
I can't believe Hannah's playing sports. I'm not a podcast person, but I'll listen to yours. Thank you, Larissa.
Do you recommend Insanity?
I
Not
think it
for,
depends on the person.
or P90X. I know P90X requires more equipment, more money. Insanity, you only need
Your body.
your body, but it could be rough on the joints.
Yeah, so when I was trying to do Insanity with Michael, right after I had Galahad, my knees started hurting, and I don't think my ligaments were fully uh, retightened after giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had to stop because after a few weeks my joints were really hurting.
Right.
So you do have to be careful. I think the best thing is to jog, to be honest. And
Run,
if
jog,
you want to build
yeah.
muscle, I would say like weight
Cardio,
training
weight training.
with cardio helps. But like
Right.
jogging is like my staple. Yeah, and
Yes.
dance for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Insanity is pretty intense.
Yeah. Michael goes, "This is insane."
It's intense
It's
in terms
funny.
of like you could injure
You could
yourself.
injure yourself. Yeah,
Yes.
you have to be careful.
How do you get your significant other's family to like you if they already have a bad view of you from meeting you once? Oh, once. First impression is so important. You can never change a first impression, but you always have a chance at a second and a third one.
Yeah.
They think I'm too different from them, not as extroverted, and feel iffy of me.
I feel like it was the opposite for us. Michael's family didn't really like me because they were already very close knit family, and for them, family was very important. I
Mm.
wasn't part of their family. I was just seeing you,
Mm-hmm.
and every time they saw me, they would see me having outbursts of rage to my mom because every time they see me, they're only seeing me with my mom, and my mom's the only person who I have outbursts of rage with. So it was the opposite. I think like
Right.
yeah, I think spending more time with them helps a lot because
Right.
a lot of prejudice comes from misunderstanding
Misunderstanding.
and lack of understanding somebody or
Yes.
something or some people group.
Yes.
And so spending more time with them, I think helps um, just like show different sides of you and different
Yes.
sides that they can appreciate. Yeah,
Yes.
because Michael
Yes.
spent a lot of time with my family, but the only time his family saw me was whenever I would have fits of rage. So it helped when like later after we got married, we like spent more time together.
Right.
Yeah, and then like talk, like spending time, quality time, like talking face to
Yes.
face. I
Yes.
think that helps a lot. I think that's what I also. Oh, let me just okay 1 minute. If somebody asked me like, oh, if what would you do if you hate your like if Galahad or Zeke had a girlfriend, if you hate their girlfriend, what would you do? Then I would personally go out on dates with her to get to know
Mm.
her,
Mm-hmm.
and because I know that everyone's the same. There's no people who are worse and no people who are better. And so if I don't like her, that means that there's part of her that I don't know, and I need to spend more time with her to get to know her.
Yes.
Um, and then also like I would really evaluate their relationship in terms of like what the purpose is, where it's going, the
Yes.
direction of it, and in fact, I don't even really like the term girlfriend or boyfriend because like it's just very vague,
Right.
and I would want them to pursue a intentional
Mm-hmm.
relationship
Mm-hmm.
for the
Mm-hmm.
purpose of an end goal
Right.
and like growth. So yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna take three more questions quick, and you choose the last one. Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
So we're sorry we couldn't take all of them, but so yeah asks, how do you read a book in
Suya.
a Suya Suya? How do you read a book in a day that's due tomorrow? I would skim and I so it's due tomorrow. It depends on what you have to do. Do you have to write a paper? Do you have like a oral examination on the test?
Right.
Is it a written in class
How
examination?
you read it
Do
would
you
be
have to
different.
present on it?
Yeah.
So either way, let's say if it's an essay or in class essay, I would try to figure out, okay, what's the essay topic gonna be? Is it gonna be like compare and contrast two themes or to another book? So I would read.
He's talking so
It
fast.
depends on what kind of book it is. Is it a novel or is it a nonfiction? If it's a nonfiction, then you read the table of contents and just
Oh, he's like
you selectively read
he's
what's important, right?
gesturizing right now.
And
You're
so
missing all of his gestures.
typically in a nonfiction book, good writers would always have the first sentence. You only have to read the first sentence and the last sentence of a paragraph because the first sentence indicates what the entire paragraph is about, and the last sentence typically concludes
Too
that
many words
sentence.
per second.
And you do not. You only need to read the
Michael's a
points.
rapper.
Look for key words like premise indicator words and conclusion indicator words like if, therefore, hence, so, thus, and and
Those words will indicate meaning.
meaning, yes. And
But what if it's nonfiction?
if it's
Oh, I mean, what if
nonfiction,
it's fiction? What if it's like a novel that you have to read
if it's
for
novel,
literature?
well, typically
Oh, what really helped me is Spark Notes.
Spark
I
Notes?
have to say, like summaries, summaries helped a lot so that when there's a part that you actually have to find, you can go to that chapter and then like go in like
It's a helpful umbrella,
Right,
so
right.
that if you need more detail, you can go into that chapter.
All right, if it's like a story novel, then it's
Sparkles.
you're in a more
Sugar is
precarious.
quacking.
You're in a more.
Quaking. Quacking. Quaking. Quaking.
All right, hold on. This question was supposed to be fast. If it's a novel, you're in a precarious situation. There's no real way
Quack, quack.
to say it except that,
When is he dropping his mixtape?
unless you want to rely on something like Spark Notes. I don't like to use Spark Notes. Typically, in every story, it's either plot development or character development, and everything kind of has a rising action, climax, and a denouement, even within chapters. So you can skip all the yada yada explanations and kind of skip to the main story and pick some spots here and there. And I like to purchase my books and write in them.
That
I
helps a
always
lot
write
too.
in
Yeah.
them. And it has to be like a blue or green or purple or blue. It can't be
Or
black.
red.
If it's black pen, you cannot see the black pen on black ink. So use like blue pen and make your own symbols. Like a star can symbolize very important.
Or you can
A
use
square can
erasable
symbolize
pens.
like necessary.
Quack.
Underlining, brackets, circle brackets, asterisks.
Okay, but how do you read it in a day? Because they have to read it in a day. You have to skim, yeah.
You have to skim and scan. So there's different reading techniques. There's active reading where you read every single word.
Yada,
Skimming
yada.
and scanning. Skimming, you read
Teacher
words in
Mike is
clusters.
back.
When you practice this enough, you can begin to read books diagonally. You just read a paragraph diagonally. It's not like this.
Right.
It's like this. You can read
Oh
a
my
page in
gosh.
10 seconds and get the main point of it.
Oh my gosh.
You should see the Guinness Book of Records, the fastest speed reader. He reads a page in 2 seconds.
Michoso.
It's kind
That's
of
crazy.
it's kind of weird. Um,
Skimming and scanning should be his first single title.
It's it's a
Skimming and
challenge,
scanning,
right?
you know
It's a
what I'm talking about?
challenge. You just it's a skill that you develop over time. Can you do it in a day? Yes, but it's tough, and just enjoy it. Enjoy student life. Working life is typically not as
Glorious.
easy, glorious. Yeah, being a student is the easiest thing.
Okay, you can
University is like difficulty is like 1 out of 10 compared to many other things.
You can pick two more, right? And then I have to pick one.
Okay, sorry. There were like
Aw.
2 others that I really liked, but it's like
Everyone started talking about you rapping.
it's buried behind like 50 other comments now, so I can't find them anymore. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You can keep scrolling.
Oh, what sports do I want them to play? I don't really know. We'll see what they like. We tried Galahad already in like hockey, basketball, and all these other things.
He just stood there.
He got mad when someone stole a ball from him because it wasn't fair. So, but he really liked dancing. Dancing was something that
Yeah.
he kind of liked. We'll see what he does. There's nothing that we want to like pressure
I
him.
was watching Persona, RM's Persona, and Galahad was like just behind me jamming it out, like with his like little hand motions and like he was dancing. Michael filmed it, so we'll upload that too. But it's funny.
Okay, I'll do my last question. Something I can answer quickly. Uh,
This is hard. This live is so long. I'm sorry.
is there a sport I want the kids in? I want them to both get black belt on Taekwondo.
Yeah, I think that will be good. It's just like a good skill.
It's self-discipline.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. Let's see. How do you balance church and schoolwork? It depends on how involved you are in church or any other extracurricular, right? Like, if you're there going on morning prayers and then you're there, like Friday nights and then Saturday and Sunday, it's
It's a lot. It could become a lot. But then also I would also pull in hobbies into it. How do you balance schoolwork
Right.
and church work and hobbies?
Yeah,
Because they're like there's 24 hours in a day. There's different ways you could split it. There's 7 days in a week. There's different ways you can split it. But I think the trouble comes with time management when we have a lot of free time.
Crazy Busy by Kevin D. Young. Simple Life
Thomas Rayner.
by the Rainers. So, if there was one thing I remember, so typically when I read a book, I only remember 1% of a book. And I try to, when I read books, I look for things that are profound and applicable to my life, wisdom that I can actually enact on things that I can take that I can change myself with. Because the beauty about reading books is that if you really look up to an author, reading a book is like spending 3 hours face to face with that author,
And-
dissecting their mind.
yeah.
So, if there's one thing I got from this is living an imbalanced life, a focused life. We try to balance many things and juggle many things. And we go, wow, how do you juggle 5 things all at the same time? You're so amazing. But what Rayner argues is there's more power and focus and success when you're actually living an imbalanced life. You focus on one thing and you work on that. So I
Or a couple things.
after this,
One or two things.
so I'll give you an example of what I was doing. I was studying full-time in a
Ooh, it's
master's
like-
program.
A face like,
I was studying full-time in a master's program, graduate program. I was studying full-time at the same time in an undergraduate program. And then I was studying part-time at the same time in college, and I was making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and getting the kids ready, dropping them off to school, and then picking them up. And then I was serving at church on Sundays, leading youth, and then there's like helping on YouTube on the side. So I was
Yeah.
a mess. I was miserable. People are like, "Wow, how are you juggling so many things?" But I was sleeping 5 hours a day, and I was stressed and angry every single day.
yeah.
And so
And then during that time, I was overworking too because I was doing YouTube full time, but then also I was teaching full time. So then, like teaching makeup full time. So then I was like so stressed, and then we were both like so stressed.
yes,
But we were getting that bread, you know. I'm just kidding.
no, we weren't actually getting too much.
Yeah, we weren't getting any bread either.
Oh,
we were
well.
just making enough,
We're trying.
paying our bills. Oh man,
Crazy
staying
busy.
afloat.
So don't be crazy busy. Being busy in itself can be your idol. It can be your escape plan. It can be your excuse. And for me, speaking to myself, relax.
Professor
chill.
Mike is here.
Don't be so fast. Take it easy. Take it easy. Focus on health. Sleep well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sleep
that's what I
well.
would tell myself. So
You have to sleep before midnight, or else
You-
the next day your brain doesn't rest the same
yeah,
way.
really, you'll have to discern it for yourself. But this is something that I learned through experience. Okay, last question.
Oh, why you make me choose the last question? How about I just sit here and stare at all of your questions?
And think about it.
And think about it
And
and,
just
never
think
answer.
about it and
then
not
have
answer.
this live like
And then
stay
say-
for like 3 more hours just staring.
Just looking at all the comments. Okay.
Oh. Thank you so much for all your comments. The live chat does save, and so sometimes I like to go back and look at all of your questions and then like implement some stuff.
Okay,
too.
you answer this one then because they said please.
Please advise. Advice, please. Okay. When it comes towards a relationship with God, what are your thoughts about making a wrong decision into something that's not involved with what God wants us to do that we commit? What do you mean? Okay, can you
Hold on, let me read it again.
yeah,
Okay?
can you read it again?
When it comes towards a relationship with God, what are your thoughts about making a wrong decision into something that's not involved with what God wants us to do that we commit? So
Does that mean sin? Yes, Hannah, it does. Stress is bad.
let's see. Let me give it an example. Let's say so when it comes to a relationship with God, okay, relationship with God.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about making a wrong decision? So something that's wrong.
That God doesn't want us to do. That means it's sin.
Okay.
But if it's a decision that is not blatantly sinful, like if you're not blatantly disobeying what God already outlined for us in our like moralistic
Right.
code.
Yes, but we have to commit to it. So is it like
No, but does she mean we commit as in like we're
Oh.
committing a sin? It's so confusing. I'm sorry.
commit advice?
What are your thoughts about making a wrong decision into something that's sin, right? Into something that God doesn't want us to do? Because whatever you do, as long as it's not advertently denying what God has told us is sinful and not sinful, then that's She says yes. Right? So like I'm saying it right. Yeah, sin. She's talking about sin. So like whatever you like, for example, okay. Um let's say okay, God told us don't steal because that's taking somebody else's things, and then that's something that he doesn't want us to do. And so if we sin, I mean, if we steal, then we're committing that sin of stealing, or if we're lying. But then if it's not advertently like sinful like that, then other decisions that we make can be neutral. Like for example, watching a movie. But then will watching a movie be what God wants us to do or what God doesn't want us to do? Depends on the context and depends on the rest of like what responsibilities we have. And so it would be sinful if I'm watching this movie when I need to be doing something else, and then I'm just saying, oh, whatever, I don't care. Like I just want to indulge in my desire to watch this movie.
Right.
Then that's sinful. But then it's not advertently sinful to watch a movie.
Yes.
But then stealing or lying would be advertently sinful because God already outlined to us that is wrong. So I think what she's asking is like, how do you reconcile that relationship when you've committed a sin that you know God is advertently telling, like let's say you stole something, then how do you reconcile that with your personal relationship with God?
Yeah, okay. Everything is by the grace of God. Even our ability to turn to the Lord is based on the Lord. Even our ability to breathe and think is by His grace. And
Bible
really,
class with Mike and Nami.
you humbly come before the Lord in your broken, wretched self, and God receives us, and that's the beauty of the gospel. It really is. God receives you. Like it's in the moments where you feel worst, or you feel like you're going to be the most rejected, or the most unworthy, or the most
Terrible.
terrible, or you feel like you want to run away, is when, in a sense, I think not only you need to go most, but God wants you to come most.
Back
So,
to him. Yeah.
yes, it is. If you look at Israel's history, it's always an up and down. We are always going through this process of the
This
technical
feels like
the
church.
technical word is sanctification, where we grow in our discipline. We grow in our discipleship. We grow in, I guess you could say, faith.
Yeah.
Hannah, thank you for your donation.
Thank you, Hannah.
Hannah asks, do you think stress makes your trimesters worse? And we'll end off here.
I think it does. Yeah, but I also want to say about like the relationships. I think relationship with God. I think like it's ultimately God who turns our hearts. The only thing I think we can do in that moment is just to pray that God will turn our hearts. Like just pray for God to move your heart and turn your heart away from this sin towards him. Yeah, because like for me, I had a period of time when I literally couldn't pray. Like I didn't even want to pray. I didn't even want to pray.
Right.
And so I had to pray that I would want God because I didn't even want God. So I had to pray that I would want God.
Inception.
And then the next year, he actually made me want God.
Cool.
And then the next year, then I actually wanted God. And then now I actually want God. Because it's like with time too. Yeah. It's with time too. If you can't pray for like reconciling your sin, then you can pray to want to reconcile your sin. Like God, please help me and change my heart to want to come closer to you. And then if you can't even do that, then you can pray, please help me want to come closer to you. You know what I mean? Yeah, so.
That's right. Fun fact. Nami sometimes uploads new videos, but could sometimes be 2 weeks old.
Or sometimes be 4 months old.
Yes.
Some videos are like
Super
half
old.
a year old.
Yes.
You can tell from my hair color when I uploaded.
I'm going to end with this principle. Discipline, desire, delight. Sometimes when we look up to someone and go, wow, how could they do something and have so much joy doing it? We don't realize that it begins with discipline, and then it cultivates an opportunity to desire, to want to do it, and then that in turn over time you begin to delight. Discipline, desire, delight. So basically what I'm saying is don't wait to be motivation, because motivation will never come to you. Move and bump into things which will then create opportunities for motivation to stir. Thank you.
Mm.
Good.
You have to want to want to want, yes.
Yes.
And if you don't want to want to want, then you can want to want to want to want.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much for joining this live
Yes.
stream.
We're gonna film now.
We didn't expect it to be an hour long.
Yes.
We are gonna film now because
Yes.
we got our silver play button for my main channel, so we're gonna bleach it.
Yes, we gotta bleach the whole thing. We gotta silver bleach that thing and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay.
Okay.
So we gotta
Thank
do
you.
that.
Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna try to live stream on my channel. Oh, Juliana, don't be sad. Don't be sad, everyone. I love you. We love you. This is a one-sided heart.
Takachi.
Hold on. Love you. Hee hee hee. Mwah. Bye. It's here.
Okay.
Mm.